very, very good morning to all of you. I'm extremely honored and treat this as a great opportunity for me to interact with all of you, specifically in this extremely important area of quality and reliability. Friends, as we march towards 2047, we have the 24 years in front of us, which our Honorable Prime Minister says is the Amrit Kal. And we aspire to become a global superpower. And that is not going to be possible unless we have technology leadership. 1947, the great freedom fighters got us what we may term as political and social independence. But what COVID has taught us is that we are still extremely dependent upon many things from the other parts of the world, specifically the critical technologies. And there is now a very big call, perhaps instructed by COVID or warned by COVID, that we need to now go ahead and make a very large industry base with a very extremely talented youth who can address the great challenges that are posed in front of us as we march towards 2047. And the role of MSMEs is going to be extremely crucial here. As we see from the statistics, MSMEs contribute around 30% to the GDP, and the MSMEs are also responsible for approximately 50% of the exports. And what is happening today, what was not within the reach of the MSME, what we thought was some technology which is not in the domain of a MSME, and it goes into higher quality or higher sophistication, today has become a problem that could be very well addressed by an MSME. I want to give some few examples in this direction. I'll take examples from home. We have a company called NIQR. It's almost now an MSME. It was a startup sometime earlier. Today they have a patented technology that can go ahead and print rocket engine. It is the first time a semi-cryogenic engine is being 3D printed. And why this is possible? Because of the most important, in my opinion, the real game changer. People say, I'm a professor of computer science, and people say that AI is going to be a game changer. In my opinion, 3D printing has been the biggest game changer at this point of time. Today, with the advent of high precision 3D printing, these kids, I can call them, they are our students, are able to print a rocket engine that is tested successfully now within 72 hours, which would have taken months together. And specifically when we look at quality and reliability, this offers extremely good quality and also reliability because the number of soldering points are reduced by 100, by a factor of 100. This is some very interesting example. Today, with technologies, specifically with large amount of simulation that are possible, and Mr. Ravikant also mentioned about data availability, people are able to very quickly come out and make technologies. The second example I want to give is about a startup named Tutor, which is now building India's first test track for Hyperloop. Right? And we have more than 70 students, not just IIT students, but also people from other Tier 2, Tier 3 institutions who are now involved in building up this very interesting Hyperloop. And friends, we are now working very, very fast on this, that we will be the Asia's first longest Hyperloop track that will be in the IIT Madras Innovation Campus. And again, this is a very interesting example that I would like to put forward to you. We are also seeing a growing interest in medical technology. Friends, today, I hope everybody has visited a dentist. To keep your mouth open, they keep a stick, and that stick is imported. So after oil, and perhaps we'll become more than oil today with our travel becoming less today. Many of the things we are handling through online. Medtech import will become extremely a very important pain point and we need to address. And today, we see a lot of startup companies going to the definition of an MSME today, doing extremely good on the medical technologies. The fourth example I want to touch upon is agriculture. There's a need for a lot of agriculture equipments. We are looking at multiple materials specifically, getting a lot more of composite materials which can be part of the agriculture equipment design and agriculture different sort of farm equipments that we need to make. And specifically from a durability and stress and other sort of hardness perspective. So there's a lot of composite research that is happening here. And again, MSMEs play a very good role in this aspect because of access to a lot of material science and test beds. And lot of interest in the biofertilizer area. I also like to point out one company called FIPSOL, which actually came out with a biofertilizer, which with around 100 grams of application within an acre, the yield actually grows by 10 to 12%. I'm also an organic farmer. I have basically experimented this in the village. And I see a 10 to 12% yield, immediate yield growth by applying these biofertilizers, which are not chemical fertilizers, but very important here. So, friends, there can be many examples like that. And what we are seeing, because of the digitization, availability of simulation, availability of data, and of course AI today, and also 3D printing, and advanced process control that comes because of very good communication mechanisms, including the 5G, which today gives you what we call as a low latency reliable protocols by which you can control your factory with your own indigenous 5G network using the millimeter wave technologies. These are now going to be the turning factor, and I'm sure MSMEs need to basically get hold of these, get good expertise in this, and utilize this to quickly grow and develop solutions for the society, right? The difference that why IITs and the Indian startup ecosystem is going to grow, I see one fundamental difference. If I go and ask a startup from other parts of the world, why you have a startup? They say that, okay, this is, they immediately within the next few minutes go into investment and money. But if I ask my kids here, why are you having a startup? They say, I want to solve this problem. I want to solve this society problem. I think that is where India is going to make a difference. I'm very excited to tell you that when the Honorable Supreme Court comes out and said that there should not be any manual scavenging, there was a startup company by a group of people, including IITians, who had developed a robo which can go and clean septic tanks, right? It had 5 patents and 3 PhDs. It was not a very simple job. And I'm sure that is where we are going ahead. And specifically when we look at more sophistication and complex problem solving that is going to come, and that is what the MSMEs are also expected to do. 2 important things come there. This should be the eye of the 2 eyes of the MSMEs, namely quality and reliability. If you carefully look at TRL 7+, I have got a product that is up to TRL 7. Now I have to go and market it. I have to make it TRL 9, 10, etc. These 2 are the predominant factors. Of course, there could be some user interface, etc. But quality and reliability becomes 2 predominant factors. And all our education curriculum, if you carefully look at every course that is designed, finally will have a significant portion dedicated to quality and reliability. I think that's the most important aspect, and that is something which this particular institution is also promoting. Last two more points that I have. How much time? One more minute for 10 minutes or 15? Okay. So two more important points that I would like to convey here. Sustainable development goals must be taken up in a very serious fashion. As a country, we have committed to the world on each one of those sustainable development goals, 1 to 17, as prescribed by the United Nations. And this is a collective responsibility. A government order or a policy cannot solve this. It is very important that every one of us, starting from our family to our office, to our institution, to our organization, must start adopting many of these points, and small drops make an ocean, and these small efforts is going to help our country meet these sustainable development goals much earlier than what we have committed. In that entire process, quality and reliability will become extremely important. For example, today, I strongly believe, again as a professor of computer science, that recycling jobs will be much more attractive and lucrative than coding jobs in the next 10 to 12 years. This is my guess. And I'm sure, as we see, I also sit in the board of some financial institutions. Even today, when we want to sanction a loan, there are certain sustainability and environment-related parameters that we are asked to evaluate. And whenever the finance controls these, I am very confident that it will be successful. And I'm sure within the next 10 to 12 years, recycling jobs will become extremely important. But the moment we touch about recycling, quality and reliability becomes extremely important. Let me give you a very small example in the next 2 minutes. We were consuming, as a campus with 632 acres, we were consuming close to 3.2 million liters per day of fresh water, and that was quite unacceptable to us. So we now made a complete gravity-driven 100% recycling of water, where we have buried close to 26 kilometers of pipe, starting at 2 feet at our Adayar gate, if you have visited IIT, the Adayar gate, to 27 feet at Taramani gate, where all our washrooms across all departments and all quarters, hostels, the water comes and collects at that point. Just due to gravity, we are not spending one iota of power for that. And then we completely recycle and pump around 100 meters. And today, friends, we are able to get back 1.8 million liters per day of recycled water. And so we have reduced our fresh water consumption by 60% with a 2-year effort that we have put. Now, what is very important here is that now recycled water is used for many purposes, and there the quality becomes extremely important. So the major investment that came in this entire process is, after the water gets recycled, how do we ensure that the quality of the recycled water is good and usable for those purposes that we have mandated it for. And that is, so every one of these recycling jobs will always be accompanied by a quality and reliability parameter, and I think the role of NIQR will become extremely important in the days to come. Last, friends, it's very, very important that core jobs need to become much more attractive. We invest lot of resources in training people in, say, biological science, and then they go and do a high-frequency trading job. I have very bluntly gone out and said it's a wastage of national resources, though I had a lot of criticism for it. But core job is very, very important, because the whole life cannot end. AI is important. I am a professor of computer science. I repeat the third time I'm repeating here. But AI is important, generative AI is important, data is important, but you can't neglect the core jobs. And so the role of MSMEs in trying to reskill, upskill people so that they become a part of your exciting journey, that is going to be extremely important. If at all core people educated in a core discipline continue in a core job, the role of MSMEs is going to be extremely important in that direction. And friends, patenting is very, very important. I have known of a story, maybe I'm wrong, but I have a lot of probability that it's correct, that a company had gone and patented double click of your mouse. Okay, anything that you do is going to be much better than a double click. So please, today we have very good patenting mechanism. Gone are the days where we file a patent, wait for 8 years. I had instances where the patent actually got approved in other parts of the world, but we were pending here. But those days are gone. Today we have expedition classes. Now we are able to get a yes or no from our patent office in 18 months. I strongly encourage it, specifically even on the quality and reliability processes that you have. Please use this facility given by the patent office of the Government of India to see that all your ideas are protected at least within our shores, if not in the other countries. This is very important. We must own our knowledge. We may give it free, but then establish our ownership. And unless we do this, we will be losing quite significantly. So there is also one Atmanirbhar AI-inspired tool which can help you in patenting by a company called ExcelPat. I want all your MSMEs, and probably NIQR can facilitate it as an organization, that people will come and help them patent their particular ideas. And this is extremely important. Last, there is a need for large companies to come forward and have trust in the MSMEs. What the MSMEs today need, they need your purchase orders. Trust them. If India has to become Atmanirbhar, first thing is Atmavishwas. Please trust these startup companies. I'm very happy today that large companies like Ashok Leyland, Accurate, India Pistons, TVS, Lucas, they have instituted awards. Along with these awards, I'll also say please give some purchase orders to these startup and MSMEs companies. And I'm sure that is the way we grow. And friends, when we serve the nation, when we serve it for a good intention, you will never go into loss. And these purchase orders are not going to bring your balance sheet down. I assure you, it will bring it up. Last, this is one call as a director of a premier institution of this country. Friends, we were rated #1 for the 9 years in succession. But then some of the reporters asked me, are you happy? I said, I'm not. The day when I will be happy as a director is when our gross enrollment ratio, wherein number of students who complete their +2 come into the higher education, whenever it touches 50%, that is the day where I will have my pal payasam at home. Right? This is very, very important, friends. In the segment of 15 to 35, we are the youngest population in the world. And if we don't set up our education properly at this point, we may become the most uneducated nation in the world, and that will have its own many, many consequences of this. So it is very important that all of us must collectively work together to bring the GER to 50%. And it cannot be happening with one institute. I look forward to all of you to contribute to it. Let me just end, surely I'll end with this, with one example that we have done. Friends, we have now set up 190 rural interaction centers spread across 90 in Tamil Nadu and 100 in Uttar Pradesh, where we just have a big television, we have a Zoom camera, and then between 6 to 8 p.m. every day, a group of volunteers under a mission called Kalvi Shakti, Vidya Shakti, we talk to these kids. We clear their basic doubts in the school. We also talk to them about higher education. We also bring somebody to inspire them on what it means to grow, what are the opportunities available, etc. Friends, now we have access to 12,000 students. In the last 1 year, the pass percentage of these schools increased from 50% to 98%. wherever we had this intervention. There was a village where there was no biology teacher, and there was a request. We arranged a biology teacher in the month of March. The public examination, 12th examination, was in May, and 3 girl students asked for the biology teacher. They were getting around 20% out of 100 in the examinations at that point of time. With just 2 months of intervention, these kids got 91 out of 100, and they got into our Shastra in their biosciences. So this is something which is very, very important. Everybody will be associated with a village. If you don't know that village, ask your father, grandfather, great-grandfather, somewhere you can find that record. Please go to that village and set up a rural interaction center. IIT Madras always will be there to support you and take it forward. With this very important call for the nation, let me wind up this, and I'm sure I'm on time. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and looking forward to many more interactions. Thank you.